Hey, if you're marketing in B2B health tech right now, you've probably noticed something. The strategies that worked in 2023 and 2024 simply aren't delivering the same results. We're seeing cost per acquisition rise across industries, along with longer sales cycles. I'm Orrett Davis, founder of Mighty Orbit, where we work with B2B SaaS and health tech companies to navigate some of these exact challenges. What I've observed is that companies that are still growing predictably follow a distinct set of best practices. So if you're a health tech founder or a marketing leader that's dealing with longer sales cycle, compliance challenges, and rising acquisition costs, in the next few minutes, I'll walk you through a framework we've seen successful health companies implementing right now. Three major shifts are affecting how B2B companies market their solutions. First, algorithm changes across Facebook and Google have altered how these platforms optimize their campaigns. They're taking away more control and detailed targeting away from marketers, where they're focusing more on engagement metrics that don't always align with B2B conversion goals. Second, the economic environment has changed the way that healthcare organizations make purchasing decisions. Deals are taking longer, budgets are tighter, and there's an increased scrutiny on ROI and revenue impact. Third, with the rise of AI, there are more marketing tools than ever before. But the most successful tech companies that we see are actually simplifying their marketing and tech stacks and focusing on fundamentals rather than chasing new shiny objects. Before I break down what's working, let me explain why traditional B2B marketing advice often fails in the health tech space. Health tech marketing isn't just B2B marketing with some medical terms thrown in. The buying psychology is fundamentally different. In most B2B cases, you're selling to someone who's focused on growth and optimization, while in health tech, whether you're selling B2B SaaS or medical devices to physicians, you're selling to professionals who need to justify the purchase on a couple of different factors. There's the revenue impact, the reimbursement potential, but there's also any kind of practice efficiency that might be in place. This means your marketing needs to lead with business outcomes and financial benefits, while also addressing any kind of regulatory concerns, any compliance aspects, reimbursements, things that are typical to healthcare adjacent products. The companies that understand this balance well are the ones that are seeing consistent results, even in the current market climate. The health tech companies that are succeeding consistently follow these 5 core principles. One, they have a deep understanding of their customers. Generic targeting doesn't work in the healthcare space. For example, rather than saying you're trying to target orthopedic surgeons, you should dive deeper and say you're targeting orthopedic surgeons that work at practices with 5 to 7 providers that see 200 plus patients on a monthly basis, who are looking to increase revenue per patient or reduce administrative overhead. You also need to understand exactly what your solution is actually hired to do. So a practice management SaaS isn't hired purely to organize schedules. It's helping physicians to increase their patient throughput and maximize their reimbursements. A diagnostic device isn't just providing data. It's enabling physicians to bill for additional procedures or improve patient outcomes that drive referrals. Understanding your actual sales cycle length is crucial. In health tech, deals where you sell directly to physicians can range anywhere from 3 to 6 months, while deals to health systems can be anywhere from 12 to 18 months. Understanding the sales process and your sales cycle is really critical to overall your marketing strategy and budget allocation over time. Pillar 2 is about business outcome and how that aligns to overall content strategy. While we think in health tech it's still important to look at the overall marketing funnel, top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom of funnel, we also think that companies should layer on some additional insights into how they think about their marketing funnels. For example, we like to include things like the revenue opportunity, implementation confidence, and the decision support. For these, you would identify industry benchmarks, revenue improvement case studies, or kind of reimbursement guides on the front end. For the implementation confidence, you want to look at things like ROI calculators, integration timelines, training requirements. And on the final stage for decision support, you want to look at items like peer comparisons, total cost of ownership analysis, and the contract terms. One of the biggest mistakes we see companies make is leading overall with features instead of focusing on some of the financial outcomes. Physicians and practice managers need to understand how your solution at the end of the day impacts their bottom line before they can really dive into some of the technical capabilities. Pillar 3 is around sales cycle optimized CRM systems. For health tech companies, your CRM needs to be more than just lead management. It needs to help support and facilitate longer sales cycles and multiple decision makers throughout the buying process. So we typically recommend HubSpot for most of the health tech companies that we work with. And this is one, because of its implementation speed. It's incredibly easy to get up and running for the entire team. And 2, because it has some really great healthcare related features baked right in. Overall, your CRM and system should track different types of interactions that you're having with prospects. So decision makers with physicians and practice managers, financial stakeholders for larger transactions, and implementation and training milestones as deals progress. So this systematic approach helps you to provide relevant information at each stage of the buyer journey, whether you're selling SaaS or medical device directly to physicians. Pillar number 2 is around revenue focused analytics. So we make sure to focus our conversion events around revenue driving activities. But for most companies, early on in their marketing campaigns, you might not have enough data to optimize for the real bottom of the funnel events. So become a customer or start a trial. So we often recommend to optimizing for a step before, such as things like successful meetings booked or meeting attended. If that volume is still low, then we try to optimize for events like the demo booked. The key is understanding which marketing events actually lead to closed deals and revenue for your specific healthcare vertical. Pillar number 5 is around strategic channel selection. Not every marketing channel works equally as well for health tech companies. And so that's why we're a big fan of focusing on the big 3, where we have Facebook, LinkedIn, and Google. Facebook's strength is in its broad reach. It's excellent for problem awareness and solution education. And it simply has one of the most sophisticated targeting algorithms and platforms of any ad network, allowing you to quickly test creative concepts and ideas in a cost-effective manner. Google, specifically Google Search, plays an important role for capturing intent. So physicians that are actively searching for a problem or a solution. And you often see this come up when people search for practice management software or diagnostic equipment in a specific category. These people know exactly what they're looking for and they're going directly to search for it, so they have much higher intent than other channels. And lastly, we have LinkedIn, which is really great for targeting because you can target by exact role, by company size, and other criteria that you can't target in some of the other platforms. But we've often found that advertising on LinkedIn, one, comes at a higher cost than other channels. And then two, the intent of physicians browsing on LinkedIn is different from other platforms, where they're often in a research mode looking to learn from peers or other publications. So the key is really about understanding your specific audience, where they go to research, where they are online, and making sure that you're able to get in front of them in multiple touch points. So here's what all this means for your health tech company today in 2025 and beyond. You have two main options for implementing these best practices. You can build this expertise in internally, which we typically see companies take between 18 to 24 months to really get up at a good scale. It involves a significant amount of trial and error. You learn what really works in your specific vertical. Or you can work with a team that has experience in implementing these teams across a variety of health tech verticals. At Mighty Orbit, we've helped health tech companies from seed to Series B and beyond implement some of these exact practices, whether they're selling B2B SaaS or medical devices directly to physicians. The companies that tend to implement this systematic approach see more predictable results, better outcomes, and resource allocation than those trying to figure out through just pure experimentation. So with that, keep building systems that matter, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Peace.